I'm going to get to the point of this video as quickly as possible with the minimum amount of preamble. This is the third video in a series titled Men Fall in Love and Women Make Plans. And the aim of the videos is to introduce you to a book by the same name for sale on Amazon. And the videos cover different angles related to that theme. I've changed from a cartoon format in previous videos to this talking head format. So who should watch this video? You should. If you need guidance in relationships, and if you're a young single man in a Western culture, contemplating marriage to a female in that culture at some stage, this video is for you. Now, the video gives you a basic example of how women make plans for you, and it's short and it's only part of the story, but the book gives you the full picture, and there will be more videos to explain further. Now, why do I say that men fall in love and women make plans? Well, marriage in particular can be an outstanding example of men falling in love and women making plans. So if you're contemplating marriage, then you need to know about the risks of marriage to men and not to women, and how marriage can go wrong from the start, because women can plan to get married. They can plan to get married to gain financial advantages and social advantages at the expense of the man. So let's look first at marriage and divorce data, and try to see who's driving marriages towards divorce. Now, the basic pattern, as you will see in a moment, is that the wife is by far the more frequent partner to seek divorce. So looking at Office for National Statistics England and Wales data for 1975. Why 1975? Well, that's the date which I'm saying feminism first took hold in the UK workplace. More on that in the book. But anyway, let's go for 1975. ONS data, Office for National Statistics data, shows that there were around 120,000 divorces in total in that year, of which 68% were initiated by the wife, called the petitioner in the tables and in the literature generally. The one who's seeking divorce is called the petitioner. You knew that. So in 1985, 72% of divorces were initiated by the wife, and 70% of divorces in 1995. And then the latest available figures at the time I was writing, 62% of divorces initiated by the wife in 2019. So these high percentages are an established pattern over decades. They're not a short-term blip in the data, they're an established pattern. So now let's look at how long marriages last before divorce proceedings are started, usually by the woman. Taking mid-1970s again, looking at ONS, England and Wales data, marriage and divorce data for opposite-sex couples from 1975, the number of marriages in 1975 was around 380,000, of which 7% ended in divorce after 5 years or less. And by 1985, the percentage of divorces within 5 years had increased to 10%, and by 1995, it was 11%. Of marriages ending in divorce after 5 years or less. Now, when looking at these data, we must keep in mind that percentages may seem low to some of you. In other words, they're a long way short of 50%, but the numbers are high. That is, the numbers of divorces within 5 years is high. It's in the tens of thousands per year. And that's a lot of people. And that's a lot of women seeking divorce. And if you'd like to look firsthand at the ONS data, then the links are given in the book. Anyway, the evidence so far from the data is that divorces of opposite-sex couples are mainly initiated by the wife, and a large number of marriages end in divorce after a short time, 5 years or less. I'll say that again. Divorces of opposite-sex couples are mainly initiated by the wife, and a large number of marriages end in divorce after less than 5 years. Now, what conclusions can we draw from these two chunks of factual data? So one possible conclusion is that divorce initiated by the wife after a short marriage might mean that divorce was planned by the wife from the start, before the marriage took place. Are there any indications in support of that conclusion. Yes, women are motivated by financial gain to marry and then divorce after a short time. I don't have any numerical data on this, and it would be illuminating if you have it. If you know of any data relating to number of divorces and amounts of money going to the woman, it would be good to hear from you in the comments below. However, I'm not absolutely convinced that numerical data in this case is essential, because females gaining financially from divorce seems self-evident, so much that even some women admit to it. For example, I'm quoting, the details are given in the book, the reference is given in the book, from a female columnist in a national newspaper. And she says, and I quote, "I can't help suspecting that many of these women who got themselves on the ex-wives list were never passionately in love with their high-earning husbands. Never passionately in love with their high-earning husbands. To a greater or lesser extent, their marriages will probably have been soulless arrangements from the outset. It's easy for an attractive woman, she says, it's easy for an attractive woman to use her charm and wiles to entrap a rich man, all the time calculating the cash she receives when she can call time on the marriage. In other words, divorce and a big payout can be in the woman's marriage plan from the start. And this must ring a bell with some of you. I mean, you will know already divorced men in your own social life who were married for a few years only and left with very little after divorce, with the ex-wife has most of the husband's salary, plus pension, plus the family home, custody of the children. So there you have it. The ONS data, Office for National Statistics data, shows that women drive most of the divorce proceedings, and tens of thousands of divorces take place after a short marriage. Why? One conclusion is that women do this to make money. You feel passionately about your intended, but she may be one of a large number of women who get married as part of a money-making project. Men fall in love and women make plans. So the takeaway is, be careful. If you are in a long-term relationship, for example, and she's talking about marriage, be careful. She may be okay, but be careful. And please remember that my conclusions are derived from data. I'm not giving mere opinion. Who taught women to make money from marriage and divorce? Feminists did. More detail on that in the book. So please leave some comments below. I need to start a dialogue with you on this, and thank you for watching.